tangible stroke lasting power sources you must not neglect. Now, there are what is called power sources. You must not what? Neglect. For instance, I was hearing Pastor Enoch, Papa Enoch Adeboye saying that the founder of Redeem took them to America and he made sure that he must see Kenneth Hagin. We were talking about how he made contact with miracle power. And then Kenneth Hagin laid on him and transformed him the ability to work miracle. Now, you don't neglect contact. You don't neglect contact. You don't neglect contact because it's a power source. Number two, you don't neglect sacrifice because sacrifice is a power source. Two, you don't neglect holiness and consecration. Fasting, praying is a power source. You don't neglect giving. You don't neglect healing powers association because it's a power source. It's a power source. Please, if you're looking at me, if you're here, I would like you to look up. There are relationships you must not trifle with. Some you submit to it, some that you are in church. Don't forget that your story is told in the midst of people. So it is people that you are with that determines what you become. So there are we call them power sources. They are lasting and tangible. You don't tell the story of Miriam without Aaron. You don't tell the story of Aaron without Moses. You don't talk about Joshua without Moses, son of Nun, who became Moses' minister. That is a power source. Now, power source like using platforms of people. That is something you didn't work for, you're using it. You have a rich background. It's a power source. Stories are told. God said to Saul, you will not be a king in Israel. Continue. Because you're from Benjamin. So David was not really too special or too separated from Saul in personal acts, but he had a background of Judah that enabled God to overlook him. Now that is called power source. Now there are people that when you meet them, your life is improved. There are decisions that can improve your life. So I said in the course, you can't neglect it. Now, number two or more, you cannot neglect vision. That is your ability to know what future holds for you. We call it power source. Because according to 29:18 of the book of Proverbs, it delivers from destruction. Now, a little bit of more intelligence, you don't say you love. Because the background of a man is more important than the man. A man is just an offshoot, like 11 of the book of Isaiah 1, 2, 3. A man is an offshoot of his background. And in 51, 1 and 2 of the book of Isaiah, the Bible says, you that want to stand right, don't forget where you came from. Now, where people came from is part of positive power source. Being in this meeting and you're making note is a power source. Because I'm trying to open your eye to what you know, what you don't know. Now, that is lasting power source. Now, when Satan wants to attack people, he will make them to ignore their power source. And then they become individuals. Purpose. Everybody on earth protect purpose. In 9 of the book of Judges, they were persuading trees to become king. They said no. That's abuse in misuse. They say you can't misuse us. Vine said you can't misuse me. So is vine said it. So is fig. So is olive. Even bramble. He said I don't want to be misused. One of the things I've always avoided in my life is misuse because I know the power and purpose. I know. And then number 2, discovery of locations. When I was in Kano, God said, leave Kano and came to Lagos. I left Kano and came to Lagos. Why? It's discovery. Lagos is an empowered city, one of the most important cities in Africa. Now, and people in Nigeria have spent time to invest in Lagos. So you cannot compare Lagos like other people. Now, I would like you to listen. Listen. There are utterances people make from ignorance. Now, if you don't have light to separate utterances, you might follow a pit. You might fall into a pit. You see, because everybody trying to talk. Even some pastors who are not leading, they are trying to preach. Even there are people that are not worthy to be heard and they are preaching. Can you be able to know that this person is not worthy to be heard? In the book of Matthew chapter 3 verse 16, the Bible says, this is my beloved son who are well pleased. When Jesus came out of the water, the Bible didn't say hear ye him now, but when he repeated it in Matthew chapter 17, the same statement, he said hear ye him. So there is a particular time we must not hear anybody. We must not hear some people, because they are saying things that are not balanced. I don't know what I'm saying anything. Can you be able to know when you are hearing a preacher that you must not hear? Because his knowledge is not balanced. So because of age and learning. So why I'm saying that is because we need to be careful about when people who are trying to say some truth must be avoided, or trying to attack truths that are more powerful than them because of ignorance, and they don't ever win. All right, negative manifestations you must end. It's a heading. That's one of some of those things I said. I'm not teaching on them. I'm trying to mention them. Listen, if you make effort to keep Satan around you through a character, God will not be part of your life, and it's possible. Let me say again. That's what I say. Negative manifestations. You must end. You must end immediately. I said, if somebody make effort to keep negative things, that is something that Satan cannot separate from, and then he will be around. Now, some of the deliverance ministers, they say we need to deliver you, we need to lay hand on people, and then some of these people you're laying hand on are busy keeping something that Satan must use against them, and then you left those things they are keeping and say you're delivering them. How can you deliver them? If you must deliver them, they should reject intentionally the property of Satan that they are keeping.